Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today I'm going to change things up just a little bit, and we're going to make a small kitchen / gathering table for our kitchen. My wife's been wanting one for a while, and I'm finally getting around to doing it. So I'm probably going to break this up into 2 or 3 episodes. We'll just see how things go. On another note, one of my brother-in-laws thinks he's become a fashion consultant. He's been talking to my wife about how I'm always wearing the same shirt in all of my videos, so I'm gonna let him pick out what I'll start wearing, and I'll show you some of his choices here. So, which gray shirt should I wear today? I don't know. Maybe I should go with a black one instead. So I hope you like those choices, and you can let me know what to wear next. So on a more serious note, with this table, I don't consider myself a woodworker. I consider myself more of a wood butcher. So if you see me not doing a task properly in any of the videos, feel free to let me know. I try to do my best to research on how to use these tools before I do them. But this kitchen table is one of the larger projects that I've ever made. Let me show you a few pictures of some of the things I've built in the past. The first are these toy boxes. I did a few of these. They basically were just a plywood box. I took a class at Home Depot and they showed us how to put them together. The second ones here are some picture frames. And these were pretty straightforward. I found a design online and just kind of copied it. I did the shop cabinets that you always see in here. I was real happy with how these turned out, except for the finish, a little bit too glossy for me. Here are some clocks I've done. And I did this recipe box for my son and his wife. So here we are. This is the start of a new kitchen table. Drove out to Michigan today to a place I know that sells cherry lumber pretty cheap, and gave me more than enough lumber for what I paid for. Gave me a lot of extra. He's a good guy that takes care of me and everybody really. I'll put his link down below. But he charged me for about 70 board foot of lumber, and I bet I have close to double of that here. So let's get it unloaded and go from there. Well, I put the boards in the garage for storage for a bit until I have time to pick them up for my dad's and get working on them. Got them all stacked here. And I'll take the larger ones home first, just because I'm limited on space, and get the table started, hopefully very soon. Here we are back in my garage. I brought home just the boards that I'm going to build the top from first. And the first thing I'm doing is starting to break them down into usable pieces. I take chalk and mark out where the good boards are at and start to cut off the bad sections and see what I have to work with. So on this first board, I've drawn out what I'm hoping I can yield 4 boards out of it. I'll know better once I start to cut it up and see if there's any bad knots inside of it. But I'm going to start by cutting out these 4 boards and see what we get. Alrighty, so I'm still breaking down the lumber. And this quick shot is just for some of my family members. My circular saw, which I started breaking this down with, doesn't cut deep enough to go through this slab here. It's about 2.5 inches, maybe 3 inches thick. So I broke out my grandfather's handsaw to finish it, He immigrated to the U.S. around 1913 and passed away about 1972. I know a couple family members will enjoy seeing me use Grandpa's old handsaw to cut this down. So let me set up this camera and I'll just give a few cuts here. Alrighty, that's enough for now. I don't want you to see me get too winded here, but Grandpa's saw still working strong. The other thing I'm doing at this point is getting the lumber to a size that I can work with. I've got a 6-inch joiner and a 12-inch planer, so 6-inch wide boards are the max I can go. Here we are with the lumber broken down. A couple boards I had left over from another project, so I'm going to use them. But this essentially will be the boards for the tabletop. It's going to be approximately 40 by 40. And then these boards I had left over from breaking down those larger ones. And I'm probably going to use these for the legs. Legs are going to be 3 inches square at the top and taper down to about 2 inches at the bottom. So I'm going to start planing and joining the wood next, and I'll bring you back when that's done. So I just want to take a quick second and show you this. The boards start off, as you can see, the grain right here is very rough. And what you have to do is joint one side first. And I'm doing a board right now, and then you can see over here, this board is much smoother. And I'm still working on this board because I have a low spot right down here. You can see where the joiner is missing it. So I have to keep running the board through until all of this is removed and smooth. Once that's done, then I can rest this against the fence right here, and we will joint the edge. So here we are with the boards for the top. After a lot of cutting, planing, changing my mind, I finally got a group of boards that I like the way they look. Pretty much knot free, which is what I was looking for on the top. Next thing I'm going to do is run them all through the planer one more time to make sure they're all equal thickness. And then we'll start gluing up. Well, here we are. I've been working on this for 5-6 weeks. I really don't know how long it's been. It's been a while, but it's been off and on. And I've got a lot of video taped. I'm going to start editing that tape and try to find a clean breaking point. Probably going to finish this up where I finish cutting the boards and getting them planed and sized. So that should do it for this one. The next video you'll see will be covering gluing up the top, rounding over the edges just to give it a nice smooth finish, and then starting on the base of the table. So as always, thanks for stopping by. I hope you're enjoying this. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing Grandpa's saw. I talked to my dad this past week and he said that my grandfather bought that in the 30s. So it's a pretty old saw and still has life left in it. I enjoyed using it and I think I'll use it on some future projects just to fit it in here and there. So thanks for coming by and we'll see you in the next one.